71.
Well, there are times when Ricky will wait to pick a pitch, but he just shows utter disdain for both Morris and Harper because he knows Morris has the high leg kick. He just takes off for second base, and this is no contest. Morris doesn't go with his normal high kick, but he still has a slow delivery to the plate.
Minnesota Twins backup catcher Junior Ortiz. Earlier this year when they started the season and Ricky Henderson was going up to the all-time record, they asked Junior, would you be hurt if he got the stolen base?
A fine job in the second position, and then Canseco, Baines, and Steinbach all have a chance to drive him in.
2-1 pitch. Ricky slugs it to left center field. Back goes Junior. Back, gone! Have you seen Ricky Henderson lead off a game with a home run? The answer, 48, and continuing to be a major league record. He must have heard us talking about him, that he can ignite a ball club. I didn't know they got cable in the batter's box.
Maybe it's just because we're so loud, he's able to pick up our voices from down here. We have a beautiful vantage point in the press box here. That's a beautiful vantage of a fastball down the middle. Ricky Henderson goes down to get it and drives it out over the...
Same speed you have on your fastball. 1-2 to Canseco. 2 on, nobody out. There goes Ricky. Swing, and he will come around to score. The throw gets away. Not only will Ricky score, but Dave Henderson ends up at third, and Oakland is ahead 1-0. And that's the Ricky Henderson you were talking about.
Exactly. That's the Ricky Henderson that can dominate a ball game. He gets on first base and everything just goes downhill for the defense from that point on. Brian Harper is not the greatest thrower in the world. He had Ricky if he makes a good throw. Watch the ball go past Jacoby before Ricky gets there. With a good throw, he would have had Ricky Henderson. See, Ricky's not even into the pitcher yet. Good high throw, and he...
With a single he picked up in the first inning and a walk he drew in the third. That one, a towering fly ball to left field. It is deep, it is back. He's repaid him a 3-run homer, Ricky Henderson. All's forgiven.
Well, we mentioned from Mark Davis, 5th inning, that's the inning the starter has to get through. Sometimes they start playing mind games. Ricky Henderson, it's his second career homer off Mark Davis. He was the only A to have one, and that was a flat no-doubter. Ricky, who can style with the best of them, went into his patented Ricky, grab the shoulders a couple of times, and then start your...
Against the A's, and it didn't get any better this afternoon. Top of 1, Roberto Kelly at the bat. Pops one up in foul territory. Mark McGwire's been doing it with the bat. Just a ton of foul territory in Oakland there, and McGwire comes up with the great sliding catch. Bottom of 3 now. Ricky Anderson off and running. And swiping third. Had 3 steals today, later scored on a sac fly to make it 2-0. Henderson at the plate now in the 6th. Bounces one up the middle. Randy Velarde is charged with the...
Sends Ricky deep. Ricky jumps, can't get it. Yanks up 2-zip. Kelly's third. Should we get worse for Ricky? Scott Kamenecki tells him to sit down, but the pitch wasn't a strike. Ricky didn't think so. Greg Koss sends him to the early shower. Ricky and Canseco combined were 0 for 7.
That one too. Rick Dempsey. There's a shot to left field. Back goes Henderson. Back. Gone! Ricky Henderson with a 2-run shot, and Rick Sutcliffe and the Orioles are behind 6-0. His 6th home run of the year. And we wondered how the Oakland A's and the fans a la Wrigley Field throwing the ball back, but it still counts.
There was a time when Rick Sutcliffe could maybe not have his best stuff and just muscle up and throw a fastball by a hitter. But tonight, as we have seen left field, it was... first baseman can do, give you a little help for a pitcher, gets a tag right down in a hurry, but it looked like he was on the forearm. Ricky may have gotten a hand in there at time.
He's got the smile. Count is 1-2. There he goes. Lansford holds off. The throw is high by Hoyles. Stolen base number 17 on the year. 1,011 lifetime for Ricky Henderson.
Well, he does it all with some quickness. As soon as you see Sutcliffe move, and look at Ricky, never looks because it's a straight steal. He gets the acceleration in that first slide that we have seen time after time after time. Almost slides off the bag and heads up.
So you got to concern yourself with him. Lansford flew out deep to right field in the first inning and had an RBI. There goes Ricky. The pitch out to Pena. Henderson dives. The throw goes off the helmet of Henderson, who wanted to get up and go to third, but Jody Reed in part, like that Rivera in part, was draped over. Now you can see Ricky looking at Ken Kaiser saying, hey, isn't that interference? Kaiser said no.
Well, he's a former wrestler. That's not interference in wrestling. That's just body contact.
Henderson having a good laugh at him.
Interesting the way Ricky Henderson got his lead. He had a walking lead off of Viola, had 3 or 4 steps before that ball was even delivered. But it's a pitch out. Tony Pena, who has a strong arm, has been gunning down base runners this year better than he has the past 2 years. Makes a strong throw. Hits Henderson in the helmet. Caroms away. Ricky trying to get up so that he can advance to third. Stumbles a couple of...
Blankenship takes his lead off first with 1 gone. Henderson takes 3 balls and 1 strike, and Viola and Voltaggio are having a debate. This could get real interesting. Here comes manager Hudson, wants to keep his pitcher in the game, and I hope you can't read lip, friend.
Not much of a debate about it at all. Frankie has taken exception to a couple of calls on inside pitches by Vic Voltaggio. Voltaggio this time called the pitch, a ball inside to Henderson, and Viola just slipped out. He exploded.
Look at Voltaggio. Is he ready for action or what?
Again, it's hard for us to tell exactly where the pitch is. It's inside. It appears to hit the corner. Voltaggio disagrees. Frankie disagrees with him and challenges him.
Voltaggio looking straight out at Frank Viola. Well, we know who wins all those arguments. On the other hand, you don't see Frank Viola argue about too much during a baseball game. He's not known for that. Tony Pena had to go out and calm him down. Don Zimmer and Butch Thompson trying to figure things out. 3-1 the count to Henderson. Big situation here for both clubs. Open up by a run. Blankenship not calling, and Henderson.
Base, but he strained his left hamstring. He left under his own power. His status is day-to-day. Dave Stewart has had trouble for some reason over the years beating this team. He had trouble keeping the ball in the park. Paul Sorrento.
By a right. Henderson first base. 2 outs. And Ricky's going, and the pitch missing, and Dave Valley's throw now nearly top. Gets into center field. Henderson will make it to third easily. So a stolen base and an error. And it's Dave Valley's third this year. He is a fine defensive catcher.
It seems that it's just a matter of time before Ricky Henderson runs. He already coaxed some throws from Randy Kramer over to first base. Chose one that he felt he could make it to second base and causes Dave Valley to rush the throw as the ball eludes Reynolds, goes into center field. Ricky ends up at third. Exactly what he's doing out there. Great deal of poise for someone who doesn't have a good amount of major league experience. Breaking ball that goes right at Henderson's head. He's stepping into the pitch and realizes he better step the other way. Down he goes.
And Ricky with a ground ball base hit back up the middle.
Can do when can do. He said, well, I don't know, but I know I'll be ready for next year, spring training. And of course, the A's hoping that the Dave Henderson, if Al Newman is person who will protect us, well, certainly David is for the A's. They're hoping to get him back. They almost have the full lineup. Minus Hendu. Oh, Ricky sends it back to left. Back goes Reimer. Back! It's gone. Home run for Ricky Henderson. 2-0 Oakland. Tony La Russa had the premonition tonight. When Ricky's really uptight about his timing and pressing, that good things happen. He grounded out the first. He's been singled, and now it's in his 9th home run. And if you believe
tight shoulder for Bob Welch, couldn't answer the call. Kevin Campbell would have to replace him before he threw a pitch. And before he faced another batter, Jack McDowell gave up a familiar sight. Ricky Henderson leads off the game for a record-extending 53rd time with a home run, 1-0. Here's the man in question.
2-ounce bat. At the Coliseum, Ron Darling was gone, trailing 5-zip in the 6th inning, knowing that only the bats could help him come back. So, down 5-3 in the 8th, Ricky Henderson turns it all around with one swing off of Chuck Krim, a 3-run dinger. Do you think Henderson knows that it has gone from a 5-3 deficit to a 6-5 lead? That's spotty English for you. Then Jose Canseco, with that little stick, puts the game way out of reach. The final, Oakland 9. And California.
Turn back the clock, Dave. Jose strikes out, though. Turning back the clock a little bit against Chuck Finley. Luis Poloni tries to extend the lead. This is the play we showed you the other angle from as he spikes. Steinbach has a few words to say. The bench is clear. The game is 2-2 at this point. Terry had to leave the game. He's still very upset. Understandably so. Bottom of the 3rd, the score 2-2, Ricky on first. There he goes to second. Tingley's thrown one hopper into center field. Ricky on his way to 3rd. Several batters later, Jamie Menacourt looking real good in those 68 uniforms. Check swing up the middle. A's lead at 3-2. Luis Soho in the rain. A base hit to right. Canseco on one hop. Borden cuts off the throw, and they nail Soho at first base. We are 4-4.
And Canseco after Henderson.
Would be even higher had not Devereaux and Brady Anderson taken some home runs away. They have made several plays over the fence.
Toward short again. Long throw for Ripken. Milligan, and they hit him in the head. And down they both go. Ricky Henderson is out. As Milligan caught the ball, the glove came down on top of Ricky's head, and then Milligan, his head whipped back as Ricky Henderson went by. Henderson is all right. He's out on the throw by Cal Ripken.
Now, it's the second time this year that Milligan has had a play that has sent him to the ground during the course of a ball game. Let's take another look at this throw. It looks like he's getting to his feet.